Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Robyn Brown's journey out of poverty and into fame and fortune is nothing short of dramatic. She had big dreams. She wanted wealth, recognition, and all the accolades that come with it. And she achieved them when she set her sights on Kody Brown, the polygamist who was on the verge of landing his own TLC show. But getting there? Well, Robyn's path was anything but smooth. Before meeting Cody, her life was tangled in financial struggles, questionable choices, and complicated relationships. She left a previous marriage with over $30,000 in credit card debt, leaving her ex-husband near bankruptcy. She'd even gone as far as taking advantage of him and his family along the way. But then Cody entered the picture. He stepped in, saving her from her financial woes, and eventually divorced his wife Meri to marry Robyn, who became his fourth wife and legally adopted his children. Robyn's mission was clear from the start: never be poor again, find a man who could support her, and become famous. And she was upfront about it in Sister Wives, Becoming Sister Wives. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. Her approach to reaching this goal was strategic, and some might say ruthless. She carefully worked to create distance between Cody and Meri, positioning herself as the key wife and securing her financial future in the family. Robyn befriended Cody's first wife, a woman often overlooked and sidelined, the mother of only one of his children. Robyn made her feel safe, valued, and understood. That trust allowed Meri to confide in Robyn, and Robyn used that information to deepen the divide between Meri and Cody, steadily pushing her own agenda. In a recent mid-season trailer for the tell-all, Cody made a comment that really stood out to me. He said, "If your wife's having an affair and your other wife tells you, that's my business." At first, I was puzzled. Why bring up something from 10 years ago? Why talk about Meri in the context of an affair and a catfish situation? Then it hit me. He wasn't just recalling old drama. He was laying something important out for Suki. Even without the full context of the clip, the meaning is clear. He's defining boundaries and alliances in a way that's both revealing and a little bit shocking.
So here's where it gets really interesting. Robyn was the one who told Cody about what was going on with Meri in the catfish situation. And now Cody is defending that. He's yelling, he's upset, but he's protecting Robyn for sharing the information with him. He basically says, "It's my business to know that," standing firm that he has a right to be in the loop about Meri's actions. When I started connecting the dots, it reminded me of something Christine wrote in her book. She shared certain information with Robyn, and then Robyn turned around and gave it to Cody. Predictably, that sparked a fight between Cody and Christine. And it doesn't stop there. Last season, Janelle revealed that she had confided something in Robyn, only for Robyn to pass it on to Cody, and Cody got mad at Janelle for it. Janelle was stunned, saying, "I didn't understand how you knew what I said because it wasn't something I told you directly." Cody just shut down the conversation, refusing to go there, basically denying her the chance to confront Robyn or voice her complaint. So that's 3 wives, 3 separate situations, all confiding in Robyn, who then runs to Cody with the information. It's a clear pattern. Robyn's strategy was simple but cunning: position herself as a trusted friend, gather private information, and then deliver it to Cody. This allowed her to drive wedges between Cody and his other wives while presenting herself as the innocent, reliable informant. She became the double agent of the family, the one who seemed trustworthy while secretly maneuvering behind the scenes. Meri, meanwhile, is left feeling powerless. She's being told she needs to move, and her world is crumbling around her. She wants to scream, to protest, to say, "No, don't do this." But it's like there's no fair way to fight against the control Robyn has quietly amassed. And let's not forget some of the games Robyn played earlier on. Remember how she almost preyed on Meri's desire for connection, her need to feel allied within the family? Think back to when Robyn was pregnant with Solomon. Meri was the first person she told. Robyn always knew how to manipulate relationships to her advantage, building trust while secretly positioning herself for power.
Do you remember when Robyn offered to be a surrogate for Meri and Cody if they wanted another child? She kept dangling that offer for 2 full seasons, acting like it was a generous gift. But when Meri said no, Robyn didn't just let it go. She used that rejection as a way to make Meri look like she didn't want to be part of the family. It was subtle, almost like saying, "I offered you this friendship, this connection, and you're just turning it down." Robyn's alignment with Meri wasn't accidental, it was calculated. Meri was the legal wife, and in polygamy, the legal wife holds power. By positioning herself close to Meri, Robyn could gain influence in Cody's world, and more importantly, secure a foothold in his financial life. Aligning with Janelle or Christine wouldn't have offered the same leverage. They didn't have the legal authority. But by getting close to the woman who legally mattered, Robyn opened the door to financial security. And make no mistake, Robyn's own words make her mission clear. She wanted a man to take care of her financially, she wanted fame, and she wanted to make a mark on the world. But there was a hurdle. Meri had to be removed from the picture, or at least pushed aside. Robyn's approach was simple but bold. Let Meri have over there, the edges of the family, while Robyn claimed the front lines. She was willing to take what was left if it meant securing her ultimate goal. Early on, Robyn clearly resented Meri. Meri, as the legal wife, held the top spot in the family hierarchy, and that position came with real advantages. Any property, finances, or legal rights tied to Cody automatically favored Meri. From a legal standpoint, anything Cody owned was joint property with Meri. That kind of power naturally breeds resentment from anyone lower in the pecking order, especially someone like Robyn, who was determined to rise to the top herself. In polygamy, power is everything, and if you don't have access to it, it's hard not to feel frustrated, even bitter, toward the person who does. Robyn recognized that, and she used it to her advantage, strategically, patiently, and without letting her own ambition show too openly.
Robyn absolutely hated being beneath Meri. She resented it deeply. She didn't like having to share, constantly feeling like she was only getting scraps, the leftovers of attention, influence, and power. She hated not having a voice in family decisions, and she used every tool at her disposal to get her way. Temper tantrums, yelling at Cody, meddling in his relationships, Robyn pulled out all the stops. But with Meri, it was clear. She wanted Meri's spot. For years, Robyn even used her children and her previous marriage as leverage. She painted her ex-husband as this terrible, controlling figure, making the children seem like they could be pulled away at any moment. She suggested they might be brainwashed or lost without her, turning their situation into a tool to manipulate Cody. The ultimate goal, to convince Cody that he needed to adopt her kids and to marry her so that adoption could happen. Cody poured his time and energy into this, eventually divorcing Meri, because Robyn framed it as a necessity for the children. There's a moment that shows just how personal all of this was for Robyn. She says, "If I'm ever having an emotional moment about maybe what I lost, I just think, it's not about me, it's about the kids, and that's what makes me happy." The divorce is final, done, over, and yet, even then, Robyn wasn't fully satisfied. Becoming the legal wife and having her children adopted legally were huge wins, but they still weren't enough. Even as Cody's fourth wife, she was still fourth in line. Despite wanting the top spot, she could never truly outrank Meri. Why? Because Meri brought the entire family together. In polygamous families, there's a kind of reverence for the first wife. She's endured the most, and the men often feel guilty for what she's been through. This dynamic even has a name: first wife derangement syndrome. It's complicated, convoluted, and frankly a little baffling to outsiders. But within that system, it gives the first wife a unique, untouchable position. But Robyn didn't just want influence. She wanted to be the first wife, even though she came in as the fourth. And not long after the divorce, something very telling happened. Meri met someone online through a Facebook page that was actually run by Robyn. That's right, Robyn was the admin. Here's where things take a darker turn. Robyn and her close friend Kendra both knew that the person Meri was talking to wasn't real. They knew it from the start. And instead of warning Meri, Robyn had Kendra begin communicating with that same fake profile, to spy. The goal was to keep tabs on Meri, to learn what she was doing, what she was saying, and what she was feeling. Through Kendra, Robyn fed that information straight back to Cody. All the while, Robyn was fully aware this man wasn't who he claimed to be. She also knew that Kendra was communicating with the Catfish. What's never been fully confirmed is whether Kendra and the Catfish were actively coordinating together. But what is clear is that Meri was being emotionally pulled in. She later described it as one of the most confusing experiences of her life, being married, yet starting to feel real emotions for the person she believed this man was pretending to be. And then the truth came out. The man was actually a woman pretending to be someone else. Meri had just divorced Cody. She had been emotionally abandoned, isolated from the family, and deeply alone. She had no real connection left within the household. Robyn knew all of that. And she also knew this online person wasn't real, yet she stood by while Meri became more vulnerable and even helped monitor it. Robyn's friend Kendra was actively engaging with the same catfish at the same time. Later, Robyn admitted to friends that Kendra had really shaken her, that the whole situation had scared her. One former friend, who was also involved with the Facebook page and present while all this was unfolding, shared a text message Robyn had sent. In it, Robyn expressed fear that her private messages might be hacked. She wrote, "My real concern is having our conversations hacked." The friend responded kindly, saying they understood and respected her hesitation about sharing her phone number again. They said they could continue reaching out to Janelle for Sister Wives-related content, but hoped they could still stay friends and talk now and then. Robyn replied warmly, calling them a sweetheart, but added that she needed to think carefully about whether there was a safe way to communicate. She admitted that Kendra had done a number on her, and that she was honestly scared to be friends with anyone anymore. She even confided that she was trying to ignore the whole situation. And that right there, that fear, that secrecy, that need to control information, says a lot more than it might seem at first glance. Just to be clear, Kendra was never someone we should have considered safe or trustworthy. Kendra and Robyn both initiated contact with the same person Meri was talking to, and I firmly believe they knew from early on that this person wasn't real, but this was a catfish situation. Kendra, however, muddied the waters publicly. One minute she'd say, "He's real." The next minute, "She's not real." Then suddenly there were multiple people involved. A man, a woman, 2 people, 3 people. She claimed she met him, then said she didn't. Her story constantly changed, which made her completely unreliable as a source. But one thing was obvious. She was in direct communication with the same person Meri was emotionally involved with. That information flowed in one clear direction. Kendra fed details to Robyn, Robyn fed those details to Cody, and Robyn told Cody that Meri was having an affair. She told him Meri was in love with someone else and planning to leave the family. Robyn became Cody's informant, his spy, not out of loyalty, but because it served her larger goal, removing Meri from the family entirely. On the show, Robyn played innocent. She acted like she was simply worried about Meri, like she was being a caring friend. But behind the scenes, she and Kendra were actively conspiring with the catfish for months. When it finally came out that Kendra had her own relationship with the catfish and that Robyn knew exactly what was happening, it became clear that Robyn had been feeding information directly to Cody to deepen the cracks in her marriage to Meri. And here's the key part. All signs point to the fact that they knew the catfish wasn't real. In my view, this was a ruse. A calculated setup meant to push Meri further away from Cody, further out of the family, and into isolation, so Robyn could finally take full control. What makes this even more heartbreaking is that Meri held on for years. Despite being emotionally done for 7 years, she stayed. She didn't want to leave Cody, and that persistence created a problem for Cody and Robyn. So why do I believe they wanted Meri silent? Because that NDA wasn't just paperwork. It was about erasing history, silencing what really happened with the divorce, hiding how it was manipulated, covering up the truth about the so-called friendship between Meri and Robyn, and what Robyn actually did to force Meri out of the family. Cody said it himself. "I had a right to know. My wife was having an affair, and my other wife told me. I had a right to know." That's exactly how Robyn operated with all of them. She found each woman's vulnerability, then delivered it straight to Cody. That's how she became the golden wife, the one looking out for him, while quietly turning every other woman into the villain. This is exactly what Janelle was dealing with. And Meri, well, Kendra and Robyn had her wrapped up in this whole catfish situation. She was being set up to leave, accused of having an affair. And Cody? He openly admitted that it was because another wife, Robyn, told him. That's exactly why Cody and Robyn wanted Meri silent. Meri had the power to expose everything, to tell the real story. And honestly, I hope she does. So what do you think? Are you shocked by all of this, or does it feel familiar by now? Do you think Robyn will ever truly be satisfied? Will she ever feel fulfilled being with Cody, even as the only wife? Or is she always going to keep finding ways to manipulate, control, and frankly hurt the other women? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, besties!